But the Knicks being good is great for the NBA because their fans care. They care. They probably care too much, but they care. And what we've seen in 2 consecutive games is nothing short of remarkable. Look, I know NBA leads can evaporate pretty quickly, right? We've seen that in the regular season. But there's a stat out there where it's like 94% of the time when you're up 20 at any point in time in the game, you're going to win. And if you're up 20 in the second half, that creeps to like 95, 96% of the time. So to 2 consecutive times overcome that sort of odds is remarkable. And then the Celtics to not even get a shot up down 1 at the end of a game at home when you're the defending NBA champs feels like it's unheard of. So I don't know for watching history or for watching something that's just 2 games, a flash in the pan, the Celtics leveling out. I don't know if the Celtics have gone from, as Dan Byer told us yesterday, playing with their food to now their food is, now they've woken up and now maybe they win the next 4 and they're like, hey, they really are a dominant team. But, it doesn't look like they're fully healthy at center with Porzingis. It does look like Al Horford may be too old for this year in the playoffs for deep minutes deep in the playoffs. And you have, frankly, those Villanova guys who just know how to win, right? Just know how to win. And for 2 consecutive games, the Boston Celtics have come from behind to take a 2 games to none lead. Excuse me, the New York Knicks, 2 consecutive games, have come from 20 behind to take down the Boston Celtics. Here's Joe Mazzulla, head coach of the Celtics, being down 2-0, heading back to New York.
I mean, you're down 2-0 heading on the road, so, you have an understanding of your environment, what you're up against. There's also, obviously, a lot of things that we're doing well, but then there's things that we need to be extremely better at in those situations. So, obviously, you have an understanding of the environment. You're down 0-2, so, we got to get on the road, and we got to find a way to win.
Here's Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics on the bad stretches in the fourth quarter of the past 2 games.
I hate to say it, but you guys are supposed to find ways to score. These are the moments that they're the ones that look like they're playing with the poise and you guys aren't. Can you explain why that's happened now 2 games in a row at home?
I'm not sure. We've gotten to great starts. We guarded. We played physical with energy today. To start the fourth quarter, I thought we got like 4 or 5 great looks in a row that didn't go in, and maybe that affected us. But what's done is done. Now we got an opportunity to see what we made of, and come out and try to make something happen. Game 3.
Here's tips, and Dan, maybe you can. I bet you remember it. I don't remember the year. Tibbs was coach of the Bulls. They had Derrick Rose. Weren't they up 2 games to none on somebody and collapsed? I don't remember if it was an injury to Rose that happened. I mean, that just sounds like every year with the Boston Celtics. But as much as we're sitting here and we're going to praise Tibbs, rightfully so, there have been times in which his teams have collapsed with early leads in series.
I don't remember offhand. Didn't they lose like a series to the Sixers when they were a 1 seed at one point? I don't know if that was it. I know they made it to an Eastern Conference Finals, I think once, but I don't remember offhand of them going up 2-0 and then blowing the series.
Yeah, I look, a couple years ago when Brunson signed with the Knicks, at the time there were a lot of people that said too much money. And, they did everything to get him, right? Their president is his former agent. His dad is his assistant coach, right? And now they've surrounded him with many former teammates. And one of the expressions that we use, winners win. They just find a way. And, Josh Hart's he's not a great NBA player, but dude finds a way to make shots and make plays at the right moment in time. And obviously his 2 former Villanova teammates, those guys just make plays. Even the last play of the game where, they're going one-on-one and, they double the ball. Jason Tatum leaves his feet and then he tries to make a pass and it gets deflected or gets intercepted. Like those Nova guys there's a reason they won in college. They just know how to win. It's the hardest thing to teach. Sometimes you just got to recruit it or sign it. But those guys know how to win. And it's not really a knock on the Celtics because obviously the Celtics won an NBA championship last year. You know, they've been through Eastern Conference Finals before. This is despite the fact that Brown and Tatum are relatively young in comparison to Steph and LeBron and some of the older players in the NBA, some of the older stars in the NBA, like they've been through some battles. But man, the Knicks, it's like they're never really uncomfortable, even when they should be down 20, Dan. And I think there's something about this group. And I guess here's a question to you. Do you think the comebacks are more about the Celtics or the Knicks?
I think they're about the Celtics. For some reason,
Why?
not being able to just finish a team off, put their foot on their neck, put them on their throat, and just finish the game. As I said, game one, I felt the same way. And in game two last night, you're saying, okay, this isn't going to happen again.
Yeah.
And then it just is, it feels like it's a carbon copy of it happening again. The Knicks are just more aggressive, just seems like such an easy word to say.
Sure.
Physical is a certain way.
Yeah.
I mean, but they're just
Mentally tough?
Yeah. I mean, they want to go to the basket. They don't mind. Yeah, it was they don't mind getting a 4-footer as opposed to the 24-footer.
I'm going to tell you one little thing that people have made fun of today, and you have as a guy who's airballed a free throw before, you can make fun of. Mitchell Robinson shot an airball, and it was an airball, right? Like there's some that you know it comes up just short, maybe, and you're like, oh, okay, no, like that one was. It's 13-6 to make a free throw, right? Most people think it's 15 feet. It's not. 15 feet is if you want to hit the backboard with your shot. That's a 15-foot shot. It's 13-6 to hit the center to go in the center of the rim. So that was probably 11-6, right? Like it was.
Yeah, I don't know if it got to 10 feet of elevation.
That one had no chance at all. Okay, but most guys they like hang their head, and for Mitchell Robinson, it was like he was back, he's playing defense, he was fine, and they're comfortable being uncomfortable, and. Yeah, the physicality, Jalen Brunson driving in, creating the contact to create separation. It just sets the tone for your whole team. And I love it. I think it's so good for the NBA, the kind of passiveness, almost arrogant confidence from the Celtics has just been knocked down by the Knicks 2 consecutive games. And look, Knicks fans are obnoxious, but you need some of that in the sport. Right? We need life in this sport. And it has been lifeless at times. Just like, oh, the same guys, Steph and LeBron. And it's, like it is, there's a life to it. Here's Jalen Brunson, star point guard for the Knicks, talking about being up 2-0.
How big is for you guys to go back home with a 2-0 lead? And what can you tell me about Karl Towns' performance?
I mean, it's very important. Going home, realizing the opportunity we have, and now we just got to make sure we're still locked in. Nowhere close to being done. Just keep making sure our mindset is the same. And I mean, Kat, just the way he started out the game, and now it was great for us, and just the way he's been throughout the entire season. And he's been one of the best teammates we have, and the way he gives us energy, and the way he goes and gets rebounds, and what he does, that's doesn't go unnoticed, and it's just the way he's been.
You know, it's interesting. They've been able, and again, I don't know if they can complete this task. I don't know how far they can go, whatever. But Karl Anthony Towns has a reputation of being soft, right? Of being a guy who's soft, gets pushed around, doesn't rebound, likes to shoot threes in the playoffs. And, you know, obviously at times he's been carried by other guys, and they replace him with Mitchell Robinson, who does all the things he doesn't do, block shots, rebounds, covers a lot of space. But it would be amazing on how the kind of guilt by osmosis, right? Like he would kind of blend into those guys, and they'll help him change the narrative of his career. This series, it just fascinates me because for 36 minutes, of the 48 minutes of each game, you're like, the Celtics are way better than the Knicks. Way better. And then it gets tight, and then it's like the Celtics are the Thunder from last year. That's, Dan, what it reminds me of. It looks like the Celtics, like, what are they doing? What are they doing? And yet they've played at the very highest level of the NBA and succeeded, and yet it's the Knicks come from 20 down both games, and they don't completely collapse, but it's just like there doesn't seem to be a plan there. And it's stunning to watch.
They almost seem uncomfortable of being that team.
Yeah.
And that they're better suited in a way of having a chip on their shoulder, but when you're expected or you're being that team, for some reason it just doesn't work.